New Artist Spotlight Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Artist Spotlight Podcast. I'm the hero of the hour, every hour, Origin Cross.
And I'm Wilko Wilkes, your friendly neighbourhood rapper. Delighted to be here again to interview some of the finest and most interesting independent artists in world music, all of whom can be found on the New Artist Spotlight playlists, which you can find over at newartistspotlight.org, where there's also news, reviews, and loads more for you to check out.
Now, today's guest is an exciting one. She's got an excellent catalog of music and a voice that's silkier than my bed sheets. Please welcome Catherine, a.k.a. Blue Dirt Girl.
Hi. Thanks. Nice introduction.
Yeah, we rolled out the red carpet for you.
Right?
We're looking forward to this one. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, very good to meet you guys.
Yeah, great to have you on. So tell us about yourself. Tell us about your music and what's brought you here today.
NAS. Well, my music is. I'm not much for genres, so I just kind of go with what I feel. And if you listen to my music catalog, it goes from jazzy pop to New York proto-punk, 70s vibe is the last review. So it's, and I work with a bass player. We've been working on and off for about 20 years together. Albert Clausen, he's brilliant. We write songs together and challenge each other. And yeah, we're great friends. And I just make music. I'm lucky enough to make music. In another life, I was a social worker. I did community development for about 20 years and then stopped and started doing music full time. Yeah, so I just love writing songs, and they're usually slightly hidden. The lyrics and stuff are usually not direct. Used to play acoustic. Now I play electric. I'm in love with my wah pedal. I have a very, very close relationship with my wah pedal right now. So I'm doing a lot of YouTubing around funk guitar and wah pedal. I don't know what else to say.
No, I like that. It's very diverse, your music. It's a good description. Like, I listen to some and I think, oh yeah, I know what she's about. And then I hear the next track by you and I'm like, no, completely different, but I love it. It's good. You take a lot of different influences into your music. I got a little bit of Heart from you singing. I don't know if that's an influence of yours or.
I love them.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I'm from the prairies, like middle of Saskatchewan. So I used to be at my cousin's farm and we would crank up.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I could hear that.
Yeah. Sing and dance and yeah. So no, I love those women they rock. They're great.
So
yeah, and NAS is amazing too. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But
so you mentioned them. So tell us about any influences you may have had growing up and how that love for music really developed and pushed you toward becoming an artist.
Okay, my older brother, he used to crank Elton John and Queen, Electric Light Orchestra, all these really solid music, instrumental, playing actual instrument music. He just cranked it up, and we never really talked about it. I just listened to it, and it seeped into my pores, I guess. And I think the other thing is I used to, I worked through a lot of stuff writing songs in my room. Let's just say that. I would go to my room and just write music. And
what sort of age are you talking about here? You're a sort of teenager at this point?
12. Or? Yeah, like 12 to 14. I would just go to my room and I didn't listen to radio, which is kind of interesting that much. I just listened to my brother's music, and my dad was a big influence. He was into jazz, Mahala Jackson, and Tijuana brass, and so he loved jazz music, so he would be playing music. So it just kind of all seeped in. My brother and my dad.
It's a familiar story with a lot of the art. I sometimes wonder if there's any artists out there who kind of they never had music in their home, but then they loved it, because it seems like every artist we have on here, it's come from that sort of just music always being a part of the family. And I think that's maybe why we take it seriously, and it brings us together in that. And like we said about 12 to 14, when you're in that zone where you need some solace, I think music gives you that.
Yeah. And then I started taking guitar lessons because I was the third of 4 children, and so I said, let me try guitar. And I still actually have my acoustic guitar from when I was 12, and it's a brilliant guitar. And I just took to it. Like, I just had this affinity to the guitar. So that just became my side. That was it. It was me and the guitar and writing lyrics. So, yeah.
Love that.
I'm jaded by the business of music. So what I've decided to do, and I'm a bit of an outlier because I started later and I had my kids, and so I've never had a community here in Vancouver really. So I thought, you know what, we canceled the original recording because of COVID. Then we masked up and did all this stuff in Dan's studio, and we recorded it. And then it came out, and it just didn't get the light it deserved. And every once in a while, these ideas come up, and I just thought, I'm gonna freaking reshare this music because I also love it a lot. So yeah, I just thought, why not? So I'm having a really, really good time resharing the music. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that, and it's important to keep it alive.
Why not? That's my kind of
You gotta keep pushing it. You know, we don't have the luxury of other like huge artists where they put out something and then it's just everybody takes to it. You know, like we could have a single and know it's the single and have to push that single for a year and a half just for somebody to hear it and it really actually start to pick up.
Yep.
So it's different being us, right?
Yeah, it's all us. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point, Origin, because I think there's a temptation to release and then just forget about music, and because you're on to the next one. So you're right, you need to keep pushing the old tracks. And like you said, Catherine, when you love a track as well, the time only sort of adds to that, doesn't it? So I'm glad it's back out there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree that I'm trying to jump out of the tracks of what music business says we should be doing, and just like, screw that. Like, I'm gonna reshare. And I mean, I'm trying to do something a little different too, right? Like I am trying to stand out, honestly, but I'm just trying to, I love my music and it just didn't get the light it deserved. And that's why I'm doing it. So, yeah.
So when you talk about music not getting the light it deserves, and then we are here all as NAS artists. So do you want to talk a little bit about NAS and what that means and how that's affected just your music being out and being heard?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I don't actually know how I found NAS because I'm kind of a little ADHD and I just go start looking out in the world, but I clicked yes, and NAS is insanely important to me because it's my community. Like it's the first time I've landed in a place where there's no competition. Everybody's supporting everybody else. It is brilliant. And also for the business, if you want, and I do go into the business of music, like I have everything signed up everywhere to get every penny I can. And so I can share that information, or I can ask a question about somebody's pitching me, and then somebody will just say, that's a scam. Like, I can't even tell you how important it is to me. And also just to have feedback from other musicians. There's just nothing like it, right? And we're all over the map. Like, Wilko will say something, or somebody will say something about my music, and I just think that's awesome because just cross genre, we can stand up for each other. And I'm a big sharing person. I've gotten in trouble with I meet with a couple women, we're artists and mothers on Fridays. We've been doing it for 8 years. And they're like, shine the light on you, Catherine, shine the light on you. And I do shine the light on me, but I'm so big about we're in this together. And nobody can do what you're doing or I'm doing. And I'm kind of tired of the jealousy and just dirty tricks of music. So NAS is the real deal. That's all I can say. I love it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think a lot of the the music business as it is it's basically just about who's got the biggest budget, like who's got the contacts, the very small people at the top who know the very influential people.
Yeah.
And they can just manipulate whatever they like anyway.
Yeah. And cliques with, and this is all like, I sound negative, but for me, I just jump out of the tracks. Like, okay, if there's a clique of people and they're doing all the booking, okay, cool. I'm jumping out of the track. I'm doing house concerts, you know? And then I just started producing house concerts. So, you know, I'm not going to get brought down by it, but I just cannot tell people how, and my numbers are up. So that's back to the business, right? So now I've got, you know, 10,000 plays on a song. I would never have that, not a chance, you know, without NAS and us all working together. So yeah, and I met some awesome people. So
yeah. So you're talking about the numbers and stuff, and you're obviously into the business side of it. I'm just wondering, kind of, what your dreams are behind this. Like, what's your main aims? And
you know what? If we ever tour again, I'd like to tour Europe, for sure. I did a lot of traveling in my other life. And then my partner and I traveled in Asia together before kids. So I'd like to get over somewhere out of North America. I think it would be pretty cool. I think that there's a different vibe out there about music, and I'd like to be part of that. I really just want to play my music. I'd love to get some money back because I fund everything.
Yeah, wouldn't we all?
The money would be good, but I just like to, and I want to work with other artists on different things and sing different ways and tour, make a little money back. That's really it, you know? That's it. That's it.
So when you say about getting some of the money back, I know you mentioned earlier about being signed up on basically everything that you can to get kind of every penny out of it. So do you want to talk a little bit about what sites you're on and kind of what they offer, just
so I mean,
you can pass that knowledge on?
Yeah, for sure. Like in Canada, I'm on SoCan, like every Canadian artist, and it's fairly antiquated, but they're trying to get better. So the challenge with it is that if you play somewhere, the venue has to be signed up with them for you to get money, and nobody is. So, but I've got it all legally. I've shared all the money so that if Albert wrote a song with me, he gets his money when we get paid. I dove quite deep into, there's like Sound Exchange, and I'm not going to remember all the names. If anybody's interested, they can, contact me. But there's about 5 different agencies that cover your rights for online play and YouTube. I've tried, but you need more. I need more of something to get up on YouTube. But there's Sound Exchange and SoCan, and there's one for radio play. Again, they've missed me, but there's about 5 different ones. And I was on Pro. My distributor is CD Baby, and actually I'm doing what Pro's doing. So I'm not paying the big fees for Pro anymore. This very kind artist said, just drop Pro because you're doing it. So it's not that difficult to get your songs up into all these different places so that internationally in America you get your money, but it's not very much.
Yeah.
But at least I feel righteous, right? That I got myself covered, so that feels really good.
Yeah. Music Reports is one that I've actually received some money from.
Music Reports, okay.
And I've gotten $4 or something. That's one. Hey, it was $4.16, and my birthday is April 16th, so I thought it was a positive.
Hey, that's sign, cool, man. I like that. Yeah.
That's very a good vibe. Music Reports, okay. Yeah, I'll have to.
Music Reports is good. I know you mentioned Sound Exchange. There's Song Trust, but I think Song Trust is a bit expensive to get on.
Yeah, I don't do that one. I can't flip up my doc right now, but yeah, there's I only did free ones just again because I'm not going to pay. I'm sorry, but I am not going to pay for somebody to with my music. I can't bear it. I can't bear that. I'm so in, I'm so in the hole, and that's just not what it's about for me. So I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you're right. I'm looking at that sort of thing in a moment as well. Actually, I'm just looking into it. I think PRS is the UK version of the performance royalties collection. But Nathaniel Hardy Jr. knows quite a lot about that as well. He's got some information if anyone wants to hit him up. Yeah.
Is he on NAS?
Yeah.
Okay. And I will reach out. I'll put a little note up because I do have I do have 5 organizations. They just slipped my mind right now, and it's really easy to sign your songs up. So
as far as I can tell, so I already get royalties through DistroKid, but this is like royalties on top of that, isn't it? This is like separate.
Yeah.
Sort of 9%
There's like
or something that doesn't.
6 ways. To get money off one song. There's like a YouTube video like how to get paid 6 times from one song or something like that. You can look up.
Right, I'll have a look at that. Yeah.
ASCAP or
just DM me and I'll send you. I've got all these Google Docs now, and
I'm halfway there with it all.
I know. You know what?
It's just a lot to get my head around, isn't it? But that's music for you.
It is seriously a lot to get around, but it's very doable, and I'm happy to share because I did all the work. So what the heck?
Well, thank you for that. And we're also going to share some of your other work today. We're going to play your track, I Don't Mind. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
I don't know about you guys, but I decided to do an EP because I've never done an EP. So that's another, I haven't done this before. So I called my friend Dan and said, what's an EP? So he told me. And he's actually the co-producer and the recording engineer on the EP. But I don't mind. It's kind of a pivotal song in my life because I've had some issues with depression over the last 5 years, and after the second time I picked myself up, and nothing really can hit me now. I feel pretty solid. The fact that I have depression, and I'm working to live a good life with it, and just a lot of stuff about being an older woman in music, being a mother, just all these preconceptions. It's just, I've never been that kind of a person. I just talk to people like they're people. And so I don't mind. And it was a lot of rage in there too. So I really wanted it to have some rage with the instrumentation. And I got to play lead guitar, which is very important to me because half the lead guitar is me. And a lot of the lead guitar is, we worked with this 17-year-old, a friend of my son, Max, and he just jumped on with the band, and unbelievable lead guitarist. And so, he did some shows with us, rehearsed with us, and then I brought him into the studio. So the longer lines are definitely Max. It was 2 songs. And the band, we were working on jamming and just like feeling it out. We decided we didn't want structured songs that were 3 minutes. So that was the first section that you hear. It was just us jamming out. And then certain people in the band, who I won't name, said, you cannot make this into one song. And I'm like, yes, I can. And I couldn't figure it out until I walked into the studio with Dan Ponich, who is unbelievably talented. And he listened to everything I said with this EP. And he said, okay, you want these parts to be one song. Luckily, Jason, my drummer, Jason Overy, he was there, and you'll see the stitching together, which is just like boof, boof, boof. That's all that had to happen. It was just 3 big hits on the drums, and then everything slid down, and then it picks up again, and that was all Dan. It's a great song, and like I said, I wanted to have some pretty strong lyrics, even though I say the same thing. There's a ton of intention. There's a ton of weight with those words. So, I think that's. And I wanted it to be 80s dance music too. Dan was not born when I was dancing in the 80s. Like, I was a big dance club girl, and so that was super funny because he said 80s dance clubs, okay, So I sort of described what was happening on that scene. Because it's very informative to that song. So I just found that super funny. Yeah, so that's it. It was a gas to record. Max, our mentee, was brilliant. And we did it during COVID, 35-degree heat, no air conditioning, the heat dome in Canada. And yeah.
All right, well, let's give it a listen. If you would like to do the honors of introducing it.
Okay, here's I Don't Mind, the second track on my EP from March 2021, Nothing Is As It Was. Hit it.
don't mind.
Right, well, thanks for letting us play that. Really enjoyed it again. And I could definitely hear what you were saying in it as well about the sort of rage, the desperation, all sorts. And I love that. And also just to acknowledge your comments as well. And thanks for sharing with us as well what you're saying about living with depression. That's something that I worked out myself a few years ago as well. And I think you're right about the sort of weight it can lift sometimes. Yeah, that's the one, Origin. But you're right, you know, it can really give you another resilience as the other side of that coin. because you sort of prepared for anything, nothing.
Yeah, you can't, it'd be pretty difficult. Yeah, it's pretty, and I love that ABCD Depression song too. I've told you that. It's great.
Why, thank you. Yeah. Well, I am offering collabs as well for just the low price of £1 million.
Yeah. Okay, good to know.
Well, you're getting all those royalties from the 6 different organizations. It's a snip.
Yeah, that's right. It's just a little cut.
One thing I wanted to ask about was the tagline, because I said I would.
Okay.
Where does that come from?
That comes from my older brother, Kent, who I mentioned earlier. I get kind of emotional, but he was. I've been in other band projects over the last 25 years, and he always said to me, step out and do your thing. You can stay with these other projects, but he just had an eternal push for me to do my own thing. And my greatest fear was to just sing and play guitar. But he was just all about that. So when I started Blue Dirt Girl, it just came to me one day, but it's really from that relationship with my brother. So because I said I would, and then it helps me with I'm going to reshare. Well, it's because I said I would. It just makes, again, it's kind of feeling righteous. And also that I follow through on my stuff, because I find in the music biz, there's not a lot of follow through, right? There's just a lot of, fake. And if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I really love it. And that's what it is. Yeah. That's where it came from.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, no,
you got a point to prove, and you sort of you're relentless in that. So what do you most enjoy about it? Is it the writing, the playing, the?
It's hard because I don't know about you guys, but I just ideas just drop into my head, and it's so cool to watch that form. It's usually lyrics for me first. It's usually lyrics, and then. You know what? I really like it all, because then you get into the studio, and finally with Dan, I had the best camaraderie, and he listened to me, and he just pulls shit out of the wall. He would just pull out a synth and just go, okay, well, let's do this. Yeah,
it's like almost like a baby. Like it's the watching it develop over the year, over the time. It's like that's the fun bit, isn't it? Taking something that didn't exist and then having a song, and I like that about Spotify as well.
Creative process.
I like the cover art and the stamping time.
Yeah, I just everything, right? One time I got my son to do the cover art, which is extremely awesome. Actually, he did beats on one of my songs. There's a song called "The Bad News," and it's super simple stand-up bass and guitar and vocals, and then as out of the blue, he just said, "Hey, Mom, what do you think about this?" And he just created these beats. And after I stopped crying and got a hold of myself, we just tracked the beats over, and they killed some of Albert's bass line. And he just said, "Absolutely no problem." Anyway, just amazing. So then we just released it as a remix, which I'd never done before. So I love it all. I really, do you guys have a favorite part of the process?
I mean, yeah, I do. I think, I don't know. As you were talking about it, I was like, huh. I was kind of trying to put it together for myself, but, I mean, I'm a rapper, right? Like, I suck at producing. So producing obviously can't be my favorite part. I write. I feel like whatever it is, I write. Yeah. So I used to write like whatever we had to do in like the creative writing class, I would do, and I always enjoyed writing. Yeah. So I think just the way my writing chooses to express itself is in the form of like poetry or rap. But I think it's the words, like putting together words in the ways that make the rhymes go a certain way, and sandwiching it, and putting together metaphors and wordplay and things like that. Yeah. And then I enjoy the engineering portion of it, but that's not what I'm best at.
Yeah.
You know?
For me, I'd like to say my favorite is just rapping. Like actually just when I'm hitting a flow and I'm in the zone, I'm enjoying myself, whether that's in the car or on stage or whatever. I love rapping. But I honestly think the big moments of like ecstasy for me come where, similar to Origin, when you get a word or a sentence that just slots in where you wanted it, or you just think of this little line that ties everything together, and you sat there like, oh my God, I've got it. Like, this is unbelievable. And at that point, nobody else has heard it. It's just you and the writing. Like, there's no anxiety crept in or like, feedback or anything like that. You just like, this is it. Like, this is going to become something.
Yeah. And I used to read the dictionary and stuff when I was younger, right? Like I do love words. And then when I sing, I love screwing around with where they fit into the song. Like
You've just given me a line for my new song.
So you're giving her writer's credit, right?
So
I'm halfway through writing a song about like when I first started writing, and you just jogged my memory about like reading the dictionary and stuff. I've got to put that in there.
Yeah, no. It's anyway, it's just that's what I meant to do. It's taken me, a long time to figure that out, but this is what I meant to do. So yeah.
So if you don't mind me jumping in here with something, the name Blue Dirt Girl, where does that come from?
Okay, I don't know how many bands you've been in. We have 5 minutes. It is really brutal trying to get a band name with a bunch of people. So we were super lucky. Took the kids, my 2 boys, when they were 15 and 12 to Italy. And there's an artist in Italy. If you look through my blog, or his name is Sala Norte, I think. He did graffiti on electrical panels in Florence. And I walked up to one, and it's the girl with the pearl earring. It's a classic book. It's a classic painting. And so he did one on this electrical panel, but she had a underwater helmet on, and there's bubbles coming up. So I just started to write the song about this blue girl, and she could sing underwater. And so I was talking to my sons, and they said, well, Mom, you love the land and the sky, and I'm from the prairies originally, so I love dirt. So to be honest, that's where it came from. And then I reached out to him, the artist, and he was so generous, and he let me just use the image. But I mean, I always make the joke, my band name could be Garbage. Ha, ha, ha. She's got the best band name in the world. Like, I don't understand how to make a band name. So I just decided it was the sky, the land, and I'm a girl. Boom. Because I didn't know what to do. And mostly it's worked out well. People think I'm bluegrass, but whatever, I'm not. A couple people have made some sexist jokes, but I just shut that down when they were hiring me. But so that's how I got it. It was just experience, and it was with my boys. So
what have you got coming up next then?
Well, Albert, actually, the bass player, he started, when COVID hit, he started emailing me bass tracks, and then he set up a home studio, and then I set up a home studio. And so I was posting COVID home recordings, and his lines were begging for lyrics. So we're writing, we're just writing and writing. And then we use Jamkazam, which is, if we can't see each other because of the lockdown, then we use this online. It's called Jamkazam, and there's no lag. So we just rehearse online, or else we rehearse in the backyard. But I don't even know what to call the new songs. Like, the first ones are super moody and a little darker. More of that. I used a ton of tremolo guitar. And now we've bumped back into the wah pedal. I'm just in love with it, and I can do it. And I don't know why, but I can sing and do it at the same time. So yeah, we're into funk. Yeah. So it's all COVID home recordings. That's what's coming up next.
Looking forward to that. Sounds good. Yeah. That's the dream, isn't it? Everyone wants to do vinyl.
Everybody wants to do vinyl. But yeah, so new stuff's coming. Like it's really cool. It's all flowing. So
should we finish with a quick fire 5? Are you ready to face it?
Yep.
Okay, right. No more than 15 seconds per question. Nope. Take it away, Origin.
All right, so it's time to strap in because it's time for Blue Dirt Girl to face our famous NAS Quickfire 5. We're going to ask you 5 questions, no more than 15 seconds to give your answers. Are you ready?
I am so ready, yeah.
What is your favorite song from the NAS playlist?
The Houston, is it Wretched Pinhead Puppets?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, great tune.
I love that song.
Okay, question 2. Yep. What song would you like to be played at your funeral?
Calling All Angels by Jane Siberry and K.D. Lang, 2 Canadian artists.
If you could have the voice of any other artist on the planet, whose voice would you have?
PJ Harvey.
Nice. Yeah. Question 4. What's the cheesiest song that you love?
Okay, well, Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. I'm in love with that song.
If you could spend a day with one other NAS artist, who would you pick?
Liz James. Bad Skull and
Yeah. She'd be great. She'd be good fun. So it's been great to meet you. Thank you to everybody at home listening, etc. And could you just tell us where to find you on the socials?
You can find me on bluedirtgirl.com. My website has all the links to the socials that I'm on, or use linktree.com, bluedirtgirl. I use it for all my bios on all my social media. So you can stream me anywhere. Just go to those spots and tap on the links. That's the best way to find me. Thanks so much, guys.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. All the best in the future. And thanks to everybody listening, all of the NAS community across the globe, our partners, and everyone supporting. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Yep. Bye.
Thank you. See you later.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. See you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. See ya.
See ya.
New artists.